For me, success has nothing to do with money.
Name me one athlete, whether it's an MMA fighter, a boxer, a footballer. Name me one athlete that doesn't have a coach.
In order to take the
Yeah.
action, in order to become experienced, in order to deal with the hardships, you need the courage. And they say courage is not doing the courageous when there's no fear, then it's no courage. Courage is taking the lead, doing the hard thing despite your fears.
Your house burnt down at one point.
Mm.
How the fuck did you handle that?
Bro, it was incredible.
So, Bus, welcome.
Thanks, bro.
Fucking good
to
to
see you.
have you here, bro. You just arrived in Bali.
Yes.
Yeah, bro.
We're back, man. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well, man. First time we're meeting in real life as well, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
After some time.
exactly. We went for a little workout just before this.
Not a little one.
It wasn't little, man. It went on for a little bit longer than expected, but
2.5 hours of play.
Yeah.
3 hours of play.
yeah, it's always like that, when you're outside, there's like some wind, the weather is good, it's warm, you're feeling the pump, there's other guys around, you talk to them, and then
Meet new people, inspiring people,
Exactly.
inspiring conversations,
exactly,
ice bath,
exactly.
sauna.
Yeah,
It goes on and on.
exactly. So yeah, we gotta be a little bit more aware of that. I think, like for the next times too, just go in, get your shit done, and get out. But it's always good to have like a good vibe, good conversation with
Yeah.
people. Yeah,
It was nice. It
yeah, bro.
was good.
What brought you to Bali, by the way? Why did you come? I know your family is here and stuff. So
Yeah, what brought me to Bali mainly is like, of course, the lifestyle here is incredible. The weather, the people, meeting with like minded individuals, meeting with a lot of online entrepreneurs.
yeah,
But besides that, I feel really inspired here.
yeah,
And I'm just in a period where I want to be extra inspired.
okay,
I feel like I want to be extra inspired.
okay,
And the people you meet here, the things they
Yeah.
accomplish, the things they do, it's inspirational. So
Yeah.
that's the reason why I came. And second reason is I've been living in Barcelona the past 2 years.
yeah.
And in summer, it's quite of a crazy place. So I'm avoiding
Okay.
the Barcelonian summer.
Really, really. What about Barcelona? It's so crazy. I never been there.
It's just like 2 months of extreme tourism,
Okay. I
which
hear
is
you.
July, August.
Okay.
So June is still okay.
Yeah.
September is nice again.
Yeah.
And then July and August is
I bet there's loads of tourists walking around with Messi Barcelona shirts during that period.
Mhm.
Like, do you see that Messi Barcelona shirt everywhere, like in
Everywhere.
Barcelona?
Yeah.
Crazy. So,
Yeah.
okay, because I never been, but this is what I would, when I imagine Barcelona, I imagine this warm city with, it has a beach, right, as well?
It's a bit
Like a beach
Yes,
city, shitload of guys, young guys with Messi number 10 Barcelona shirts
Yes.
there.
a lot.
That's how I imagine it.
Yeah.
Okay, bro. But yeah, let's talk about you a little bit because this is the first time I'm seeing you in real life. Been following you for quite a couple of years, and you've been doing a lot of inspirational things, mainly being a coach to high performers. So you're mainly helping like higher level entrepreneurs or freelancers, business owners with optimizing different aspects of their life that
That's
they
correct.
tend to neglect because of their work, right? Their sleep,
Yeah,
their
they
exercise.
or they tend to neglect it, or they're just looking for a way. They feel like there's more potential inside of them,
Gotcha.
and they're looking for a way to reach that potential.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And is it the lack of knowledge that they have, or is it just a lack of time and energy that they have to be able to allocate to those other areas?
Depends on the person.
Okay.
Could be various reasons. Could
Okay.
also be a lack of accountability, a lack
Yeah.
of knowledge, lack of implementation,
Mm,
or the total package of all of these things.
Yeah.
But it's mainly knowledge. The clients we help. So we help successful entrepreneurs basically create a more successful and impactful and energized life through optimizing their internal
Yeah.
state, but also their external performance.
Gotcha.
And for most of the entrepreneurs that are just super consumed by their business or busy,
Mm,
we help also people who have like a team of like 50 plus people, and they're consumed by their business maybe, so they just need
Okay.
guidance on what to implement,
Okay.
what to change, what to try.
Gotcha.
They need some help. We all need
Gotcha.
help, and
Gotcha.
yeah, that's our job.
We do need help. And do you find a lot of these business owners in the beginning having resistance to getting your help because they think they can know it all, their ego, stuff like that? Do you experience people
Yeah,
like this?
sometime, of course,
Okay,
of
okay.
course,
Yeah.
especially before sales calls.
Cool. Yeah.
You know, and when people
Acting tough in the DMs and
yeah
stuff like that
yeah
with
or in
you.
person
Yeah.
they think they don't need it, but
No.
they don't know the power of my work until they experience it. So usually when people come into like
Yeah.
a discovery call
Okay.
or something, they're either they might already be like problem aware or solution aware, or
Probably.
they're
Yeah.
just open to change.
Okay.
But pre that stage,
Yeah.
yeah, there might be a lot of ego involved in
Yeah. Yeah.
thinking
Yeah.
like I can do everything by myself. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
But
So
we
yeah.
go really deep. We go really deep into
Yeah.
changing your thought patterns, changing how the
Mm.
mind works, changing how you view yourself, you view the
Okay.
world, and through this new programming we
Yeah.
install, we create a different reality. So it's really changing that internal state. It goes really deep, and yeah, we find layers that people cannot find themselves.
Mm. Okay. Got it. So people go from problem aware to solution aware after the discovery call mainly. So would you say that is your main thing of being able to convert the ego entrepreneurs that aren't really aware and open for help? Is it mainly the discovery call, or do you have some other content, some freebies, something like that that you give to them so they can understand the power of your work?
Yeah,
Because
you
that's where it starts with, right?
yeah
They need to know that it's actually gonna help them.
yeah. Usually it comes through the content.
The content, okay.
The content makes them either inspired
Okay.
or problem aware or
Yeah.
interested,
Okay.
right? But I should do more with freebies for sure.
I
For
understand.
sure. I used to do it in the past and I should do it more
Yeah.
because I have so many resources,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
full course resources, PDFs,
Yeah, yeah,
free
yeah.
videos. I should give that
Maybe
away more
launching
for
like
sure.
a mini course for free or for a low amount. They
I
can just
already have
follow.
that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
ready. Yeah, I
It's
can just give
ready.
it away. Yeah.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
I need to do that more. Yeah, good point.
That will be
Thanks.
a good. Yeah, that will be a good thing. Right? Because one thing I realized in sales is, there's so much there's so many offers out there, so many businesses doing the same thing.
Yes.
And to the clients and the prospects that are interested in buying the thing, there's so much options that they don't know which one to choose, right?
Yeah.
So over the past couple of years, I found out what is the best method of converting people into clients, like from
Mhm.
prospects to clients. And it is to give them a sneak peek or like a preview of your work so they can first taste it for themselves and they can compare based on the actual value instead of the price or the external stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that's what works the best, because I was with Daniel, one of my students, recently, and we were looking to buy something. We were in a market and we were looking to buy something. So we were comparing. We first went to the first booth, and then we went to the other, and then we went to the other. And at the end, we ended up going back to the very first one. And I said to Daniel, I said, the best offer always wins. Always.
Mhm.
So in business, it's also like this, because it's funny. There's like our friend Amir, my student, and he's making content right now. He bought like the latest Samsung Galaxy phone, and he's mainly working on shooting content right now.
Yeah.
And he bought it, and it's expensive. Like it's even more expensive or the same price as the highest iPhone. So he got it, but he realized that the camera quality was very bad. He's posting, and it's very bad. And I was shooting him with my 15 Pro Max.
I just heard you guys in the gym.
Yeah,
Like you
bro.
said, I need an iPhone.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
And then, even though he got the Samsung phone and Samsung made one sale, it's not about making one sale as a company. You want to convert people and you want to keep them, right? That's the main thing.
Lifetime clients.
So how do you
Sure.
keep them lifetime clients? Because it's very easy to make one sale. You just have to have a good story and sell people. You can push them through it, and then they get it. But how do you keep them? Well, that's just the quality of the product. Like Sam Oven talks about that as well.
I agree. I agree.
So at the end of the day, even though in the beginning Amir spent 2K to get the Samsung phone, he still ended up spending another 2K to get the latest iPhone, right?
Crazy.
So Apple still won because they have
Yeah.
the better product,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And in terms of camera, at least, right? In terms of camera, the functionality, in my view, like actual experience, it's better. But maybe other things, Samsung is better. Anyway, this is not about Samsung versus iPhone.
Yeah.
So the best offer always wins, right? So I realized if I just give them sneak peek content, like access to part of my stuff. They can see it for themselves, and then they just sell themselves, bro.
Yeah.
That's it. Like value first, give, and then they just end up buying, bro. And I barely do any effort on the sales calls anymore.
That's beautiful.
It's
That's
just
beautiful.
like, yeah. But that's the dynamic you need to create. Like we work with a bunch of business owners that they just run ads, bro. They don't do any organic marketing. They don't do any content, right?
Yeah.
And because they don't do any content, the sales calls are very long and hard. Lots of objections because the prospect isn't warm before. But now that we're talking about content, you're, trying to find like what is the best type of content to post for yourself. What are you navigating towards like the viewers that are watching? If they go visit your Instagram, Bus Builds,
Yeah.
like what will they be able to see? What will they be able to learn?
Yeah, so I was speaking with you before doing this podcast that
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a personal transition, and that I want to involve more of my creative side into my business and
Yeah.
into my content. So I learned, and before I answer this question, I want to quickly go back to what you just said, like the best offer wins. What I learned for me personally is that enthusiasm wins, and I need to follow enthusiasm. So every time I'm super
Okay,
enthusiastic
I understand.
about
Yeah.
a solution we
Yeah.
offer, I really believe it. I'm enthusiastic, and I'm able to transfer this enthusiasm, this passion, this inspiration to the person on the other end of the line. People buy the energy.
Okay.
People buy into
Makes sense.
the energy.
Mhm.
So, and I think, which is an important or an interesting thing to think
Yeah.
about, I think especially in this time of AI, when copy is no longer, or like ChatGPT, the amount of copy circulating, the quality
Sure.
it's increasing,
Sure.
ever increasing. Video is being AI, video is being created more easily.
Yeah.
I really believe we're transitioning into the age of authenticity.
Yeah.
That's how I call it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not sure if I no longer believe that the best offer wins or will win in the future.
Yeah.
I believe that authenticity and connection
Mm.
and energy transversion within a sales call or within a product or within a
Yeah.
business will win. So this is also for me my personal standpoint, and
Okay.
in terms of content where I'm heading towards. I've been on a personal crusade, I would say, the past months to make the most authentic content that I can. So it ranges from just everything, showing all sides of myself.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So it ranges from giving advice
Yeah.
to showing what I do in a day, and super specific how I do things.
Yeah.
So I'm really focusing on authenticity, and I want to grow more in terms of long-term content, because I really believe, as you said, also the freebie is like it's free value, it's free content first. I really believe transitioning into the age of authenticity
Yeah.
and the power of long-form content.
Long form.
I can give you 10 hours of value
Yeah.
before you even decide to interact with me.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
I think this is super powerful. So I want to get away a bit more from the short
I
form,
hear you.
and I want to make authentic content
Makes sense.
and more long form content. To I think on the long term
Yeah.
will be a game changer.
Makes sense as well. Because also the quality of the people that you attract is based on the content you're making. So if you make the short form stuff that has a lot of edits, it's going to attract the people with short attention span.
Yep.
Those tend to be the people that aren't that developed. They can't even sit down and watch a couple of minutes of video. It has to be like 20 seconds. So you'll attract those. But you're working on like you want to attract the high level entrepreneurs, and those have focus and patience, right? So they should be able to stick through the longer form stuff. Before I move on to the next topic, you said enthusiasm sells, and I 100% agree with that. It does sell. I was specifically referring to keeping customers.
Oh yeah,
So
of
let's
course.
say you're enthusiastic as
agree.
fuck. Let's say
course,
I am
yeah.
so pumped about a certain thing, like Russell Brunson, the fucking most energetic guy when he's selling ClickFunnels. But
Yes.
we're seeing right now that people are navigating away from ClickFunnels because he sells it really well, and they buy it $300, whatever it is, to get started. They stay for a month or two and they realize, okay, this software doesn't really do what I wanted and it doesn't look that good anymore.
outdated.
The landing pages don't look good anymore. So they go away, even
Yeah.
though he's enthusiastic, right?
agree.
So enthusiasm is like the first stepping stone,
Yeah.
but the actual quality of the thing is the most important. Like, let's say the iPhone, right? Like, let's say someone sells you the iPhone, very enthusiastic, but it's a shitty phone. Like, you'll use it for a week and then you'll throw it away anyway.
Yeah.
So it'll sell the first time, but it won't be able to keep the customer.
I 100% agree.
Yeah.
So enthusiasm, passion, inspiration
Yeah.
sells the
Yeah.
energy, the vibration,
Yeah.
and then it's the quality of the product
Yeah.
and the value you create
Yeah.
that keeps them.
Yeah.
But you have to keep infusing the enthusiasm also in the long term.
Of course,
Yeah.
because if you are enthusiastic about your product, you'll keep improving it naturally because you just like doing it. You know, you just keep working on it, so it'll become better.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of like how it works. So yeah, I've been having this thing as well because I've been doing sales for the past 8 years. But if I'm really completely honest, so I started in sales because of people that recruited me on the streets, first of all. They told me, hey, you know, why don't you join our team and sell this newspaper on the
Classic.
street?
Yeah.
Basically, that's how you get into sales, right? It's never your own choice.
It's never.
Some good salesperson pitches you to get started.
They sell you in.
Yeah, that's how it works. That's how that industry works, right? So I got sucked in, and then I kept selling people on sales because, you know, it's just like a vortex and it keeps going like
Yeah.
that. But I realized, I became aware, this is not me. Like, okay, I'm good at it and I've helped hundreds of people, but it's not really my thing, like my legacy, if that makes sense, right?
Of course.
It's just like I'm kind of like carrying the torch of the people that came before me, my previous mentors, and I'm teaching what they taught me to others. And it's working, and we got a lot of students that are making good money, traveling. However, what I've realized, what really speaks to me the most is the topic of communication, psychology. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well, because I know you're very interested in that topic. You're working on that. And that really feels authentic to me. And I feel like I've been following sales because the money is good. I can sell people high ticket, you know, they follow my program, stuff like that. But I should take a leap of faith into the unknown and do something that's me. Because I don't know any single content creator that's doing it really well in the aspect of communication psychology, like doing big moves in the space. And I think I want to be that guy that does that. And I met this guy yesterday. You saw him today that lost his hand. Did you see him?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But he was doing the push-ups, the handstand, and
He was
everything
doing
like that.
everything, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Mad respect.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. And basically, we had a conversation after the workout, and he started talking about his hand and how it happened. Basically, it was a firework accident, right? And I was asking him questions about how do people treat him after it happened, because he was 12 when it happened, stuff like that. And he told me that when he's at a party, festival, events, people come up to him without even knowing him, or even in the bathroom of the gym, and they're like, oh, what happened with your hand? Without asking him who he is, what's his name is, whatever, right? So they just jump into it. And he finds that extremely annoying, especially if you hear it all the time, right? And I was also confused about how do you approach someone like this? Like when someone has a deficiency, lost a limb or blind, do you talk about it? Do you avoid it? Do you treat them normally? What do you do? So I basically just asked him, right? I asked him, hey, how would you prefer if people treat you? And his answer was just normally, like
Of course. Yeah.
not start about my hand, just ignore it. Treat me like I'm a normal person. If I start talking about it, then it's okay to talk about it, but don't start about it yourself, right? So I didn't know about that. This is what those kind of people prefer, but that's what they prefer. They prefer to be just treated normally, and you shouldn't mention it, right? Unless they are mentioning it. So we made a video together, and we shared this message with the world, being like, hey, this is how you communicate with someone that, you know, has a certain handicap or deficiency or whatever.
Nice. Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people don't know this because he gets approached tens of times in a week by people. What happened to your hand? What happened to your... So people don't know how to react, you know, and they think that's the right thing to do. If they ask this question, then it looks like they care, but it's actually not the right thing to do. It's pretty annoying to those people.
But it
Yeah.
tells us that communication needs to be educated.
Exactly. So many people, they don't know how to communicate. So lack of knowledge. but it's also there's internal traumas and fears that's keeping them from communicating what they actually really feel from the inside, or setting boundaries. They don't know how to do this. They think, for example, it's disrespectful to say certain things that aren't disrespectful,
Yeah.
right? And also the other way around. They think certain things are respectful to say, but actually they are disrespectful. So they don't
Mhm.
really understand. And they don't understand that there's different people, there's different personality types. You have to talk to different people in a different way. It goes so deep, and there's no content about this that is very good, high quality.
Yeah.
So that's speaking to me in my authentic, like, so that's kind of like the direction I want to go in, right?
Nice. Nice.
So
Very valuable for the world.
I think so as well. So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about it. Did you have any difficulties with communicating what you wanted? Because you're a very weird, unique type of person that's different than normal people, especially from the little village that you're from. I'm sure there's not many people that are like you from where you are from. Correct me if I'm wrong, of course.
No, that's true.
So
That's
did
right.
you feel like an outcast at one point in your life? Did you feel like, okay, like,
Bro, I still feel like the outcast. Man.
yeah, right? Like a weirdo within, like, okay, so,
I felt like the outcast always.
okay,
I always struggled to find
yeah,
like the position, you know, and
okay,
and I've had a recent, like a quite recent big journey on learning how to communicate and express my emotions, which
okay.
is expressing your emotions or speaking your voice, basically, is also a big part of communication,
Mm.
which I really had to learn for myself, which was quite a journey.
Mm.
So yeah, I definitely had to go through that and learn
Okay.
that. Yeah.
When was this transformation you're talking about? Like the learning how to communicate your emotions and stuff like that. When
Yeah. So the first moment. So it was already. It's been I wouldn't say a big problem, but it's been holding me back the past years. And when I really started to see the pieces of the puzzle fall into place was when I was in Thailand. And I was in Thailand with my ex-girlfriend. It's quite a unique story. So we
okay,
were we wanted to buy a couple bracelet, like a beautiful stone braided bracelet.
yeah,
We wanted to buy the same color.
sure.
So in Thailand, we walk into a shop. We see something. We're like, hey, this one looks beautiful. Don't you agree? Yeah, yeah. And then this magic Indian guy appears. This guru. He's wearing an insane amount of jewelry and stones, and he's like, "That's not for you." So I was like,
What? Wait, the bracelet
the,
or
the,
your
the type
girlfriend at the
bracelet
time?
stone, the stone time, the
Oh
stone type
shit!
of the bracelet. So I was like,
Sure,
okay, why not? What is for me? He was like, yeah, I'm a chakra reader, and I've been reading people's chakras
sure.
for a very long time. And if you want, I can do a reading.
Mm,
I was skeptical. So I
yeah,
was like, this is gonna be $1,000,
bucks.
No, I thought like this is gonna be like €1,000. He's gonna do some sort of reading, and I'm gonna be scammed. You know, but he read my thoughts somehow. He was tapped into to the quantum energy field. So he said like, he literally said like, "Don't worry, it's free." Just when I was thinking this. So I was like, okay, sure, go
But you were
ahead.
still skeptical, probably
Of
thinking,
course,
yeah,
of
he's
course,
saying it's free, but when he takes me there, he's gonna upsell me some shit
of
or whatever,
course. We're,
right?
we're in sales, we're in marketing,
Yeah,
right? So we know the game.
yeah.
So he read my chakra, and he was like, okay, everything is perfectly aligned,
Okay,
or like strong man, strong mind,
sure.
everything's really good. Only your liver chakra is
Mm,
very out of balance, and this has
okay.
to do with not speaking your emotions, with holding on anger. And this is something I haven't done for all of my life, not speaking my emotions, not saying what I prefer, not saying, not coming up for myself, not speaking my own truth, my own voice. And I kept getting injuries. I told you this morning about the shoulder injury I had for 1.5 years.
What? How long ago was the Thailand thing, the guru thing?
This was January, maybe January last year, a year ago,
So one and
or
a half
2 years ago.
years.
Yeah, about 1.5 years.
1.5 years
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. Okay.
So I got this big shoulder injury,
Mm.
right? It's connected to the liver and the heart as well.
Mm.
And I had this back pain and neck pain connected to the same thing.
Mm.
And then I always used to bruise my ankle as a
Okay.
kid. It's connected to the same chakra.
Shit.
So physical problems started to appear,
Mm.
reappear, and not leave my body. And I kept after this chakra reader. I went to many people like Chinese medicine, massages, and all independently without me telling a story, told me that was the problem. People from all over the world.
Yeah, because that's you shouldn't tell your background story and have them
Exactly.
tell you. You have to let them just from the beginning just analyze you.
Yeah, they were just touching my body,
Yeah,
looking at
exactly.
the injury, and
Yeah.
saying this is coming from
Oh, crazy.
keeping
huh?
frustration and not speaking your voice.
Right. Oh.
All over the world, man. Like different
Wow.
in Spain, in Thailand, in China,
Oh, fuck.
in different forms of spirituality, medicine, religion.
Oh, it's pretty
in
nuts.
books.
That's nuts.
And then I was like,
Fuck.
no problem, bro. No
That's
problem.
good. It's good. Nothing happened.
No problem.
It was off. It was off. So it's just
So and then I really started to practice this and
Yeah.
to do it more and to make a promise to myself that I always speak speak my truth, speak my voice, communicate better. And to give you one practical example in terms of communication and sales, how I use this is when I feel something is off in the energy, I used to ignore it. Let it be.
like in a conversation.
Or something. So I was having this sales call with a guy who's now my client, super happy, successful
Cool.
client.
Yeah,
I
nice.
was having a sales call with him,
Yeah.
and at the end of the sales call, I started to be a bit more aggressive in that he really needed this. But I told it to him because I really saw the problem, and I just wanted him to, like I said, like, okay, I really see the problem, and we can really help you solve this, and you need to make a decision now because it's breaking your old patterns of not making decisions.
Yeah.
And I saw him completely block.
Okay.
No more communication. No more. I couldn't.
Sales resistance came up.
Complete
side.
resistance.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
like, I'll think about it. And he was the whole call. He was like 200%
Okay.
in, 200% energy
Sure.
to a minus 200.
Was it after you revealed the investment?
Yeah, it was the end of the.
So after you revealed to him it's this much,
Exactly.
and then he got cold.
Then no, he was still enthusiastic.
So he was
then
enthusiastic.
until I started to tell him a bit more that he needed to break through this pattern of indecisiveness, and so I was touching his ego and his problem.
Okay.
And then he got like minus 200.
I
Normally I would just say, okay, yeah, just think about it, get back to me, but it's a lost sale.
Most of the
100%
time
sure.
they don't come back.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
So my new me,
Sure.
I say, sorry, I just want to say something. I felt I was a bit aggressive. I see in your energy, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're not really taking this in the right way, or there's some distance, there's some friction.
Yeah.
I really don't like this. I really would like to solve this. Like,
That's very nice.
And
I
he
call
was
this addressing the elephant in the room.
yes. So
This
I
is what I
always
call
do it
this.
now. Whenever I feel something, gut, intuition,
Yeah.
boom, address it.
Address the
And he was like,
elephants.
yeah, you're right. And we had a good 10 more minutes of a good talk.
Yeah.
And then he still wanted to analyze the call. And one day later he said, like, thanks for doing that, bro. Thanks for addressing the problem. I analyzed the whole call. I need this so
You just
bad.
wanted the
Let's
recording
do
of
it.
the call.
Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. Yes, sending the recording to your prospects, very interesting. That's a good one.
So
That's a good one. Yeah.
what I try to say is, when you feel something in terms of communication, I address it instantly.
Very
I
good.
solve every problem.
Very good.
That I feel friction.
Okay.
Because I really believe if I feel friction, you must also feel something.
Yeah.
Because to communicate, you need two, right? You need a plus and a minus.
Yeah.
We cannot feel something by ourselves. So if we're feeling
It's true. It's
a lack of communication,
It's
the other one also feels something.
I hear you.
So it's the pure. I try to be as pure as I can in
Yeah.
terms of communication
Yeah.
to clients, to women, to family, to friends.
Yeah. I understand. Yeah, thank you so much, bro. That's fucking insane, bro. Yeah, it's very, very valuable. Very good. Wow.
Thanks.
Yeah, one of the reasons people don't do this is because one of the main fears that people have is being alone, being cast out, not being
Yeah.
part of the group. That's also why you were going with everyone's opinions. You weren't sharing your opinion because you wanted to be part.
Yeah.
Because you always felt like an outcast, right? So you
Yeah.
did your best to be part of it. And David Goggins was talking about that he used to be like this as a kid. He used to not have a personality, not have any preferences. It was just a matter of, if you like going on your bicycle, he likes going on his bicycle. If you like cookies, he likes cookies. If you like basketball, he likes basketball. So that was him. Like, he wasn't anything. He was just whatever you were.
Most
He'd like
people,
act
a
like
lot of
that,
people,
right?
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. And they talk with you about it. So yeah, and then he was able to break the pattern by being his authentic self. And then what happened? Obviously, a lot of people left his life. So
It's the best filter.
yeah, exactly. So authenticity is like a flashlight. And when you flash it, the people that don't resonate with it, they get blinded by it and they go away.
Yeah.
But the people that do resonate with that flashlight, to them, it's not a blinding flashlight. It's actually a portal that sucks them into your world.
Yeah.
So that's what authenticity is. But you need to understand this, and you really need to know this, because if you don't know this and you start being authentic, you start seeing people going away from you, you get afraid, and then you stop being authentic.
Yeah.
But when you know, okay, if I'm going to be authentic, some people are going to leave. And that's a good thing, because eventually the right people will get sucked into my life, into this portal that I'm sending out. And you have to trust, and you have to be patient with that. But you need to know this to be able to do this, right? And a lot of people don't know that this is how it works.
Yeah. And it will create a different, more fulfilling
Exactly.
and happier life.
Yeah.
Because if you're always just adjusting to everything around you, which is ever changing,
Yeah.
you're just living a reactive life, being pushed and pulled by all the infinite forces and possibilities. Whereas you want to be proactive, take the lead, be in control to create your most strongest, most magnificent life.
Yeah.
So you need to be authentic.
Yeah.
You need to be true.
Yeah.
And it's the best filter. It's the best filter.
100%. Definitely. And eventually the right people will come. It could take time. Like with me, it took some time.
Yeah.
But eventually I attracted the right people, and now it's the craziest brotherhood family that I have. You know, we travel the world together, we live together,
It's
we
inspiring,
work
bro.
together.
Honestly. Yeah.
But bro, it took years, man. And it was so natural the way this came.
Yeah.
Very freaking natural. Very natural. Like, the guys cave, there was no pressure. And there was a period where we didn't talk for months because I was in a relationship. And eventually, because of the relationship, I became very simpy. This is also one thing that people don't know, which I would like to, because now I consider myself pretty experienced in the field of relationships, because I just came out of a 5-year relationship.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, and it ended, but I was exactly like the simp, you could say. Like, the female had full control over everything, and I stopped being with my brothers. But even though this is like how you know you got real friends, right? Because I didn't speak to them for years. Well, we stayed in touch like every couple of months, a message, but not really. Yeah,
Less
but not
investment.
and not physical meeting with each other. They were traveling to different places, and I was with my ex, and I was very disconnected from them. But I knew that they're still there for me. Like, you feel it in the quantum energy field, right? There's still the connection. I'm still good with them, and I'll forever be friends with them. Like, I can come back in 10 years, be like, hey guys, I fucked up. You know, like the Optimus Prime. You know that video?
No.
You know where Transformers, the movie, right? There's Optimus Prime, right?
Yeah.
And there's one point where he leaves his friends, and then he comes back later, and he's like, "I'm a changed man. I'm back. I'm Optimus Prime." Something like that.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and there's a meme about it, like when your boy breaks up with his girlfriend after a couple of years and comes back to the bros, right? There's that scene.
Nuts.
So they sent it to me, after the break.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
But anyway, and so, because it was so tight, the brotherhood it was authentic, right? You don't need to do that much effort to maintain it, right? You don't need to force it. If
it's
makes
true
sense.
love.
It's very true. So
yeah,
they just like me for who I am, and they will forever accept me, and that's very nice to have people that like that in your life, So I'm very fucking.
But also then to create that, you need to be yourself.
You need to really be yourself, bro.
Because
You cannot
otherwise,
play a fucking act and act tough. And if you're going through shit, you need to be able to say it, and you need to be like, "Hey, boys, like this is happening to me right
yeah,
now," and
yeah.
whatever. And
But the
you need
lesson
to
is
really be
also
yourself.
if you find yourself
Yeah.
not having meeting the right people,
Yeah.
not being accepted, not finding a tribe, then you might should question yourself: Am I truly being myself?
Bro, I remember this time when I came to Bali like 4 or 5 years ago for the first time. I was doing sales, but I wasn't that successful. I was like making like a little bit of money, but I was kind of like barely going by. That was the
Yeah, yeah.
truth, right? And I came to Bali, and the only real friend I had was Roslan because he flew over as well, and we lived together from day one, and it was like instant connection, you know. But other than Ross, we had guys around us, but I I didn't have these close friends. I always had these fake people around me, and I was so annoyed by it. But in hindsight, looking at it, I understand exactly why. I used to act like a tough guy. I used to act like I had it figured out, right? I used to act like I was good, successful and shit, you know. And I wasn't honest about how my entrepreneurship journey was really going. Which was I'm just a beginner and I don't have shit figured out. And
I'm trying.
it's actually not going that well yet, but like I didn't say these things. I was just like I didn't really lie, but I was like acting like you know,
Because
yeah, exactly. And then I was like exactly having those people, right? Because I thought you need to be oh, you need to act like a tough guy in order to be able to attract
be
these
liked,
people and
yeah.
to be liked and whatever. And I realized I don't have the right connections, right people. I don't have good partnerships. And I only had that with Ross because he was the only guy that really knew the truth about me because I felt safe to share it with him because he has the same fucked up backstory like me, like a messed up relationship with parents and thrown out of the house and his house was
Yeah.
burnt down and shit like that. You, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a bit, maybe. So that's what I realized, and I kept having these fake people around me up until I realized way later on that it was because I was being inauthentic. And there was this other guy, his name is Tristan. He's also like a Dutch guy. And he came to Bali and he was having the right people around him. And he was having like a lot of, he shared this in his podcast recently as well. Um, he was having very quickly the right people around him. And that's because when he came to Bali, he had just a couple €1,000 in his bank, like 3 or 4 or 5K something like he saved up and he came to Bali and he was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, but I want to make it happen. I want to be able to live here. I want to make this e-commerce thing, whatever, work for me, right? And he said that to everyone. He was honest. He was like,
Beautiful.
I came here to Bali and I just have like 3K in my bank account. I'm broke and I'm just trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Because he said that instantly to the people, he had a lot of people wanting to help him because he's the underdog. People love underdogs, right?
Yes.
So do you
Yeah.
want to help the underdog?
Of course.
So he became successful and he blew up, you know, and he's going well right now. And yeah. And another friend, bro, one of my best friends, bro. I know him because of you. You were the first guy to give him a shot. Dan, the videographer.
Yeah, I trained him basically.
Bro.
Yeah.
So that was insane as well because you were the first one of his first clients.
Yeah.
Then he came to Bali for a shoot with Jeffrey and Mike.
Yeah.
And he was shooting the mastermind that I was part of as well. I was like speaking on it and stuff. So that's how I learned about him, knew him. And he was also same story, broke.
Yeah.
He was working as a construction worker
Yes.
and he wanted to make it work. And he was planning so 2 weeks Bali and then go back to Netherlands.
Yeah.
So Ross and I pitched the fuck out of him to stay, and we were like, we are going to help you to make it work because he was so authentic and nice and honest, right? And then we helped him. We helped him with sales. We helped him being able to close clients, and then he was closing clients left,
Horowitz.
right, and center.
Adam Horowitz, and then flying with him all
going
around
to
the
LA
world.
and shit
Yeah.
because we taught him how to communicate and sell, and he sold himself.
Gatsy.
Crazy,
Yeah.
bro. And that's like, and he was supposed to go back to the Netherlands. One day before he was flying to the Netherlands, Ross did the final touch, pitched him to stay. And
Yeah.
he stayed. He stayed. And then the rest was history, man, after that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Because he was authentic, bro. If
Yeah.
he was fake and he was acting tough, we wouldn't have liked him. We wouldn't have helped him.
Of course, and I think also like
Yeah.
in life, if we're all really honest,
Yeah.
we don't know the truth. We don't know how to do
shit.
things. We don't know shit.
Yeah.
So we are all just trying to figure it out,
Sure.
right? So if you're honest, and part of being true and honest is also being vulnerable,
Yeah.
and you're just saying, in your situation, if you just would have said like, I'm trying to figure it the fuck out, and that's when people want to help you also, because if you say like, yeah, I'm there, I've done it, okay, nice, good luck. Like there's no exchange of help, of information. You close the door to opportunity, help, information, shortcuts. So I think also the fastest way to succeed, even if you're already doing a great job and you want to succeed even more.
Just say you're broke.
No,
Even though
not say you're broke.
Even though you're multi-millionaire, balling,
broke, bro.
I'm broke, bro.
Compared to some people.
You just hold this character.
Hold the character. No, but at least like be honest. Be
Yeah.
honest, be vulnerable,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can still. Everyone wants to improve, and no one knows how to do it. Or like,
No, I understand.
you know what I
You
mean?
need
We
an
don't know the
external
truth, the answer.
helicopter view to look at you, because you will never look at yourself, no matter how enlightened you get, really from a third person perspective. You always be a little biased. You
Yeah.
always have ego in the way, your own story, your own traumas. But if you have an external coach or someone looking at you, he can be dead honest with you.
Yeah.
So we all need it, bro. Even the highest of the highest level. Name me one athlete, top athlete, whether it's an MMA fighter, a boxer, a footballer. Name me one athlete that doesn't have a coach. One. Name me one. You cannot name one. They don't just have one coach. They have a coach
For everything.
for every single aspect.
Yeah.
A coach that teaches them how to go in the ice bath and breathe properly. A coach that teaches them how to meditate. A coach that teaches them
How to communicate in front of the camera.
Exactly. PR training, stuff
PR
like
training.
that. And the actual football coach, right? Many. And they have so many, right? So they're just kind of like following the commands of other people that are looking at them, seeing, okay, this is what you can do better, this is what you're doing good. So I have no idea why the fuck people have resistance against coaching, because if you think about how did you learn language? How did you learn your ABCs? You didn't learn it yourself, right?
Yeah, we cannot.
Even language
yeah.
you didn't learn yourself. You learned it
Of
from
course.
others.
Yeah.
So if the way you talk you didn't even get out of yourself, what makes you think you're gonna figure out life by yourself? Like, So
we all need help, man,
exactly.
with everything. We cannot operate in a unit of one. Our species cannot. So
no,
from
we're not like
we're not
also
designed to do it.
bro, do you cringe as well when you say when you hear self-made millionaire? Yeah, you cringe, right?
Yeah.
Because even like, bro, it's so cringy because like there's some e-commerce guys, right? Self-made e-commerce millionaire. Bro, what do you mean self-made? Okay, how did you make your money? E-commerce. Okay, so what platform do you use? Shopify. Ah, okay.
Who made
Who
Shopify
made
for you?
Shopify?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, yeah. Okay. Oh, other people made Shopify. Okay, cool. Use the internet, right? Like, yeah. Who made the internet? Ah, use the laptop. Yeah. Who made the laptop?
Who
that you're
packed your
using?
product
Exactly.
for you?
Your product. Who made the product? Oh, wait a second. You made money, right? Where'd the money come from?
Yeah.
Other people,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, but I do agree on I agree with you
So
completely.
you know what I mean? So
I know
so
what you mean.
there's like
It's impossible.
thousands of people involved in them becoming a millionaire.
A million
and
steps to get there.
and
Yeah.
they think they're self-made. So I understand what they mean. They mean they didn't get it from their parents and shit like that.
Yes.
But
They
I think
worked hard
self-made
to-
is not the right
Yeah.
term. Yeah. But yeah, this just that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know it. Yeah, the term doesn't work. But every time, like when I think about my life and my lifestyle and the things I've managed to achieve so far, I'm always super grateful for that. And
Yeah.
and I thank whatever you want to thank for it and
Sure.
everyone involved.
Yeah.
But then comes always a point that I say, but you made it happen. You took all the risks.
Exactly.
You took all the struggles.
Yeah.
You took all the failures, not being able to pay your rent, not knowing how to
Yeah.
So that's probably what they mean most by that, and I do relate to that. But the term self-made, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's broken.
Yeah. How we say it, like there's a story of the drowning man. Have you ever heard the story?
Maybe tell me, please,
Yeah.
and the audience.
Yeah, so there's a guy believes in God, very, very religious, right? Believes in God and has all his faith in God. He has so much faith in God that one day he was drowning because the whole city was, overflowing. A tsunami came. He was drowning, and he was drowning. And someone came by with a little boat, right? And he stuck his hand to the man, the drowning man, and the drowning man said, "No, thank you. God will save me."
Mm.
So the man in the boat was like, "No, no, just grab my hand, just grab my hand. Come on, bro. Like, I'll take you to a safe shore. You know, just come in the boat." He said, "No, no, no. God will save me." So the man keeps going with his boat, and the drowning man is still in the water. And then a little bit later, a bigger ship came. They throw down the ladder, and they're like, come on our ship. You know, you're drowning. You need safety. You know, come with our ship. We'll help you. We'll save you." The guys, "No, thank you so much. You know, we're not. God will save me." And then the ship goes. A helicopter comes. They throw down the ladder. Same story. He doesn't go up, and then he drowns. And then he drowns, and he goes up and meets God, and he asks God, "God, why didn't you save me? I had so much faith in you. I refused all of these people. I had faith in you. I wanted you to save me, not these people. Why didn't you save me? I'm dead now." And then God said, "I sent you a boat. I sent you a ship. I sent you a helicopter. That's what I do. But you had to take
Beautiful.
action
Yeah.
and actually grab the opportunity." So that's what God does. God gives you the doors
God is
the
in everything.
opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you have to take action. That's also one of the things that separates us from angels. So angels are these beings that don't have free will, and they're just following God's command, and they're perfect, right?
Mhm.
But we are a better creation than angels. Why? Because we have a level of free will that God gave us out of love.
Mm.
He gave us the chance to sin, and He gave us the chance to do good. It's up to us. Angels don't have that. So we're a higher creation, right? So He gives us opportunities, but then it's our choice whether we take them or we don't take them. So that's a little bit the balance of
Yeah,
it. So
beautiful.
that's one story of taking action and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
And you need to take action because also if we speak about communication and optimizing or improving your communication,
Yep.
I always say to people that experience breeds confidence. So you're not born confident.
No.
You need to have experience in
Yeah.
doing something to
Sure.
become confident. So you do something for the
Okay.
first time, of course you don't know how it works or what you
Yeah.
should do. You've done it 1,000 times and you're a pro, you're a master,
Yeah.
right? So you need to take action in order to create experience,
Yeah.
and that experience will create the confidence.
Confidence.
So if you want to go to a place of confidence, of flow,
Yeah.
of mastery,
Yeah.
of being able to let things be created
Yeah.
easy and fluid, you need to put
Take
in
a lot of action.
action.
Yeah.
And action always overshadows fear.
Yeah.
So you can be very fearful,
Yeah.
but usually
Yeah.
if you just try,
Yeah.
you might have failed in succeeding whatever you wanted
Sure.
to succeed, but there's new information, there's new data, so there's a win.
Yeah.
Right? So fear is resistance, ego is resistance, and then to overcome this fear is usually just taking action, even if it fails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even if you're not reaching the end point, the desired end point.
Yeah.
So action overshadows fear. So if you feel any fear, take action. And then this action creates experience, and experiences create confidence. That's, I think, super important when when learning a new skill, when improving your communication. Do it more.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Fear blocks people from taking action. And what are the biggest fears that you see people have? In my eyes, it is first of all failing at the thing, and other thing is people's judgment. For
Mhm.
example, like they're not afraid of failing, but they're afraid of failing and having other people say to them, "Oh, I told you you wouldn't be able to do it."
Mhm.
Right? So they're more afraid of how other people will look at them.
Yeah.
People don't want to look stupid in front of others. But I think one of the most powerful things, one of the best transformations that I had, is accepting being able to lose in front of others and failing in front of others, doing things and falling on my face and having others look at it. That was my biggest fear because I always got bullied when I was a kid, and that was the trauma I always kept,
Yes.
which is why I didn't take any action with entrepreneurship, and I was always very careful. But when
Mhm.
you're careful in life in general and entrepreneurship, you're not going to get anywhere. Never.
You're not gonna create the magic. at
You're not
least.
going to create the magic. You're not going to create anything original. You're just
Yeah.
going to walk behind someone's footsteps, like a little bit of the sales thing that I said in the beginning.
Yeah.
You're not going to have the balls to do something new.
You're reactive. You're a copy.
Yeah, you're copying. You're
you
just
are-
taking the safe route, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be okay with failing and falling flat on your face in front of others in order to be able to make change. You have to really be able to say fuck people and fuck what they think and just do you. Very important, bro. It's such a mental prison when you're just worried about. Because we're recording this podcast, right? We have no idea how many people watch it. Maybe it'll fail, but we're having a good time, right? And
Yes.
fuck the result. It's just about we're having a good time. We're
Yeah.
learning. If it goes well, it goes well. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll just have another shot at it in the future.
Yeah.
See how it goes then.
And it doesn't.
That's the mindset, Like,
And I think that's the biggest change. One of the biggest changes you can make.
Yeah.
Like we teach Stoic philosophy
Yeah.
to entrepreneurs, to people,
yeah,
and in the core of Stoic philosophy is the circle of control.
Yeah.
So the core of the philosophy teaches you what's within your control and what's not.
Yeah.
Us doing the best we can right now in this conversation, truly connecting, truly communicating, truly doing our best,
Yeah.
despite any outcome, is what's within our control.
Exactly.
So if we tie our emotions, if we tie how we feel to what's within our control,
Perfect.
like you
You're
said,
good.
we're having a good time.
Yeah.
Why? Because you are tying your emotions to the thing that's currently within your control.
Perfect.
If you tie your emotions to X amount of views, to X amount of likes, to X amount of compliments on all the beautiful things you said,
Yeah.
and you're not getting those,
Yeah.
you're sad, right? So it's about these things. It's about finding what is within your control.
Sure.
And once you've found what's within your control, you can set yourself free from the external. You can set yourself free from giving value to opinions,
Very good.
from giving value to other people's viewpoints.
Very good.
If you combine into that mix where we started this conversation with, we're all just humans trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
No one knows how everything is structured and should be done.
Yeah.
Then you can start to play
Yeah.
while focusing on everything that's within your control. And if you can break free of these external things and these external validation and opinions, man, you're instantly enlightened and you're instantly being more joyful of life, of your work, of your connections, of the results you're getting.
Yeah.
So breaking free from this external is
Okay.
is incredible.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, where is the biggest fear?
Yeah.
In all the external. People are worried about the external,
Yeah.
right? That's where that's usually the thing that's holding you down the most. So 95% of your fears and worries, they never end up manifesting in the world because they are created by your brain. You know? And they are often about things that could happen or
Yeah.
how people could view you or how people will receive something. So yeah, man, that's
Shit, bro. The last topic I want to touch on before we end this conversation is, since you're talking about Stoic mindset, your house burnt down at one point. How the fuck did you handle that?
bro, it was incredible.
Okay, tell
It
us.
was incredible. Yeah, I've told this many times already
Yeah.
on podcasts. So if people listen that have heard this story
Yeah.
many times, it might tune out.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, for me it was really one of the most incredible experiences.
Okay.
I'm super grateful. I wouldn't be sitting here today
Okay.
if that wouldn't have happened. You know?
Yeah. How did you twist it? So instead of sharing the story that you have shared multiple times before, I just want to know how you twisted.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the psychology or
Yeah.
the mindset
So it was
behind it.
burning, and you were like, "Okay, this is a good thing." So what
Yeah.
happened there?
It's a combination of a couple beliefs and some mindset shifts.
Sure.
So first of all, I was priming myself to focus solely on things within my control.
Sure.
What we just talked about, like and connecting my emotions and feelings to the things
Gotcha.
within my control.
That was outside of your control.
House on fire. Okay, can I stop the fire now? No. Is it within my control?
No.
No. Are people doing their best to solve this?
Sure.
Yes. What is in our control? How I respond to this.
Sure.
Next level, what is in our control? What can I learn from this? What can I extract from this that can
Mhm.
make me navigate life better or learn experiences? Next level, number 3, is the belief that I need my hardships in order to become the person I'm destined to become.
Exactly. So
when you truly embody that belief, where you believe that God or the universe gives you exactly what you need in terms of wins, but also in terms of hardships, you can enjoy the shit that comes your way because you know that you need that stuff to become the person you're destined to become. So once you really embody this philosophy, once you embody this belief, I say you become almost unbreakable because you start to enjoy.
you enjoy. You
Hardships.
start saying, God, give me more. I trust you.
Yeah.
This is exactly what I need. You're just burning my house down? Come on.
Yeah.
Like you start challenging in terms of that. And
Yeah, maybe
David
also.
Goggins talks about it as well. It's like challenge God for more. Be like, God, thank you so much for burning down my house. But I see my car is still there. Why don't you burn that one as well? You know?
Yeah.
And yeah, bro, go ahead.
So in the Bible, I don't know how they say it. It's like also, I don't know exactly how they say it, but they say like, there's some quotes like, God gives you only
It's
what you can
in
handle.
the Quran.
In the Quran.
The cow, which is the second chapter of the Quran.
Okay.
And what we believe the Quran is it's exactly God's word. So the Bible is a story written by humans, for example, John and Matthew, and those were the writers, and they were way after Jesus' time, right? So, but the Quran is literally God's word. So God says in the Quran, in the cow, chapter number 2, God will never burden a soul with something that it cannot bear.
That's the one I mean. It's
So
beautiful. Yeah.
that is so powerful. That's for me the most beautiful and most resonating line, like a verse in the entire Quran for me.
Beautiful.
Because it just gives me so much peace, and it's like everything he's gonna give me, I'm gonna be able to handle. That's his promise. He promised that to me. He promised also to us that he's forgiving, the most forgiving. So that's also very nice. He said every single chapter in the Quran except one begins with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So in the name of God, the most merciful. So he's the most merciful. He's the one that's going to be able to forgive us.
Yeah.
So
can I add something to that one?
Please. Which one? The second one?
The first one.
The first one.
I can't
burden your soul.
Yes, he won't burden your soul with what you cannot
bear.
Yeah. Right? This is only powerful to you.
Yeah.
If you believe this.
Yeah, you have to believe it, of course.
Right? Yeah. So where is struggle created? A lot of people, they don't believe this.
Yeah.
And then struggle is created in their unconscious thinking patterns. And this is where the Stoics say, a wise man endures his pain, but he doesn't add to it. So what people do is they start to add to their pain.
Yeah.
So God, whatever you want to call it, gives you a struggle, right? And you believe he only gives what I can bear.
Yeah.
So this is what I need,
Yeah.
and I will learn from it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people that are unconscious, stuff happens to them, and they start adding to it. This is the worst thing that has ever happened to me. Because of this, I will never be able to do this. And they create that mental prison, which creates a cycle of struggle and of bringing yourself down. So if you believe that you only will get what you're able to manage and what you're able to overcome, that gives a lot of peace, but only if you believe it. And I think in different religions and in philosophies, it's said in different ways. But in Stoicism, for example, Marcus Aurelius, which was the fifth and final good emperor, one of the most influential men ever on the planet to live, he had a dream before he became emperor that his shoulders were made of ivory.
Oh.
He got that dream from God.
Yeah.
His shoulders were made of ivory. Okay. And after waking up from the dream, he realized, I can bury this weight of being a leader, of leading millions of people. My shoulders are made of stone.
Yeah.
I'm getting exactly what I can bury.
Okay.
And also when then the plague hit, millions of people
Okay.
died. He wrote something, or another philosopher wrote something like give it to me because I can handle it, instead of giving it to weaker people. I'll carry the burden because I
Oh,
can handle it.
okay.
Right? Give me the pain. I can
Yeah.
learn from it and handle it. I'm strong enough.
Yeah.
So it's this mixture of these beliefs that you have, I think, and your identity.
Yeah.
If your identity is, which is an identity of I've installed for myself, I can handle it.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah.
You know, I'll solve it. I'll figure it out. If you've got these two, maybe a mix of the religion and these beliefs and identities set in place, bro, you can handle everything. You know, it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
Mm. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. Last thing I want to say is ties in perfectly with this, and it's a quote I saw, and it goes like, "Life is not about avoiding and escaping the rain, but it's about learning how to dance in the rain."
Yes,
You get it?
I get it. I get it. Yeah, and it makes me think of one other quote,
Okay.
or one other thing about courage,
Yeah.
which I think we didn't touch upon courage.
Okay.
But in order to improve all these things, in order to take the
Yeah.
action, in order to become experienced, in order to deal with the hardships, you need the courage.
Yeah.
And they say courage is not doing the courageous when there's no fear, then it's no courage.
No.
Courage is taking the leap, doing the hard thing despite your fears.
Only then it qualifies as courage.
Yes.
It's not that the individual action is objectively courageous. For example, stepping up to a random beautiful woman, it is subjective to the person. If the person in that moment is very afraid to do it and does it, it's courageous. But if a man is extremely confident and he doesn't have any resistance in approaching this woman, then that man didn't do something courageous in that moment. He needs to do something else to be considered courageous.
Yes.
So it's subjective to the individual. If he experiences fear and does it, it's courageous. If he doesn't, then it's just an act. Good act, but that's it. Not a courageous act.
Yes.
Exactly.
So be courageous.
Yeah,
Take
be
action.
courageous, because that's the only way you're going to grow.
Yeah.
Because then you're going outside of your circle of comfort, and then automatically you'll feel resistance in the beginning. But you should see resistance not as something bad, but actually as a compass to, oh, wait a second, this means I'm growing now.
I agree.
Because when I have long periods of time where I'm comfortable, even though my business is growing, everything is growing, my body is good, but I feel too good and comfortable, and I don't feel that much resistance, and I don't feel that much fear. I'm like, okay, it's time to change something, because this probably means I'm not pushing myself beyond my
You're
boundaries.
stagnating.
I'm stagnating. Even though it looks to the outside that it's perfect, it's a subjective experience. There's no objective success.
Mm-hmm.
You might look at me and be like, oh, he has money, he's living in villas, he's traveling, oh, he's successful. Success isn't an objective measure of, oh, yeah, you have this much money. No, it's per person. So, for example, someone that's born a millionaire can't help it. He's born multimillionaire. That doesn't mean he's successful. To that person specifically, that person isn't successful yet because he was born into it. So success is pushing yourself beyond your boundaries and challenging yourself beyond what you would ever think you'd be capable of. Then you become successful. And also, success is always borrowed. That's it. So you don't get success. You're borrowing it temporarily, and you need to keep working on it to be able to keep it. Or they say it's rented, not borrowed. It's rented. Because rent, at the end of the month, you have to pay rent. Rent is due, right? So with success, you rent success. You don't buy success. So you rent success, but at the end of the month, at the end of the week, there's a bill you need to pay to keep the success. If you don't pay the bill, success will be taken away and back to the person that's renting it from you.
And
So it's very
how does this translate for you? Does that mean the stop of growth and the stagnation,
Mhm.
the rent? How does that translate back to life?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that? Is that the stagnation?
So paying rent is doing your due diligence, which is going outside of this zone of comfort.
Yes.
And the way you know you're paying your rent is if you feel fear and
Fear,
resistance and
yeah.
you still do it.
So we're on the same page.
Then you know you're paying rent.
Yeah,
If you don't feel those things, you don't feel resistance and fear and you're growing, that probably means you're not paying your rent.
That's
And
an issue.
eventually the landlord will come and seize your possession.
You're right. Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful. Yeah.
exactly.
Beautiful, man. Yeah.
So-
for me, success has nothing to do with money. So
Yeah.
that's also one of the things
Exactly.
I hammer on with my clients is
Yeah.
how are you or we, when I work with them, how are we going to define success?
Yeah.
You know, how are we going to define if we've hit a goal? How are we
Yeah.
going to define success? And I want them to reach beyond money and revenue,
Sure.
right? So, yeah, that's interesting.
It took me years to understand what definition of success is for me, but I think this,
share it.
what I just
Yeah.
said.
Okay. Yeah.
So
keep
success
improving and
is
overcoming
going
fears.
outside of that fear and out of the comfort zone, excuse me, and keeping doing it and keep pushing the boundaries. And it's a subjective thing, not an
Mhm,
objective
mhm,
thing.
mhm.
So that's basically the definition of success. Would you say yours is same, similar to what
Yeah.
I just said, or is it?
Yeah, and there are some like being a good man might already be enough, right? So if you are a good human being,
Mm,
taking care of yourself, the people around you, you're doing no
Sure.
harm,
yeah,
you're creating growth,
yeah,
you are super successful, and in whatever form or shape
sure.
in the external world or work, right?
Yeah.
So becoming better and being a good man, being
Yeah.
a good human being is for me, I think, a definition of success for
Okay.
for life. Yeah.
Let's round it up with this. Was fucking sick, bro. Guys,
Good
please
talks, bro.
go ahead and follow Bus. Instagram you got? Do you have any other channels?
Yeah, everything is at BusBuilds, BASBULTS.
Yes.
So it's on Instagram at BusBuilds.
Yeah.
There's some stuff on YouTube
Sure.
at BusBuilds. There's podcasts on Spotify. You can search at BusBuilds or Stoic High Performer podcast.
Oh, sick. You have a podcast.
Yeah, I'm not using it a lot. I want to get back into it because I like going deep with
You
it.
can upload this one to your podcast.
We can.
I mean, it was a very good conversation. You shared a lot of things.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on there. So at BusBuilds, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel free. Yeah.
Exactly. Wonderful, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. This was Wasim with Bus, and see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. For me, success has nothing to do with money.
Name me one athlete, whether it's an MMA fighter, a boxer, a footballer. Name me one athlete that doesn't have a coach.
In order to take the
Yeah.
action, in order to become experienced, in order to deal with the hardships, you need the courage. And they say courage is not doing the courageous when there's no fear, then it's no courage. Courage is taking the lead, doing the hard thing despite your fears.
Your house burnt down
Mm.
at one point. How the fuck did you handle that?
Bro, it was incredible.